All right, so we are now recording. We're right here at noon. We are going to go through 30 minutes of strength and 15 minutes of stretching today. We are doing class a little bit differently. I have my handy dandy desk chair right there, the one I sit at when I'm here in my home office. But we'll be doing upper body and core for the most part. I'll be seated. You can do pretty much all of these standing. So don't feel like you have to sit if you don't want to. I tweaked my back a little bit over the weekend, and I think I'm like starting to be in the clear, but yesterday was still rocky, so I just want to be safe rather than sorry. Always listen to your bodies. So yeah, we're gonna do a little bit of a modified workout today, and we are recording this, so it'll be on YouTube, so it'll be a good workout. You can always reference if you've got less space or you want to do a cheer workout one day. And then we'll still be doing our stretching, just not the foam rolling. And I think that's everything. So let's go on and jump in to the workout. Again, let me know if you guys can hear me for any reason. I think if the heat might be a little bit better because I'm talking directly at the camera. Let's go and start with holding the shoulders back and down. Also, my AP just decided to kick on, so I might have to tweak that a little bit. So hold me here. Let's take it to the big arm circle, open up the chest, pull the shoulders back. And we'll still be using our dumbbells today, so we're going to do 5. Our big arm circles here. And let's take it across the chest, so crossing arms one over the other. You can alternate which one is on top. Using back between those upper legs as you bring the arms back. Take a little bit of a stretch in the shoulder as you take the arms across your body. Let's go ahead and let those arms rest to the side. We're going to do a quick stretch side to side here, so you can hold on to the side with your feet, or if you're stretching, you can up over to the side, come back to center, other way, and alternate. Forward, here. And let's do one more. All right, go on and come back to center to your seat, or again, you can be standing. I'm going to turn that it is a little hard to hear. Let me turn down the music. I might actually try a setting change. Mario. Okay, I changed something, so if it's worse for some reason, let me know. Okay, we're gonna go on and jump into our first circuit. We're still following the same format. Again, you can do sitting or standing. All of these. There are regular upper body exercises that we do. We're gonna start with an overhead press. So dumbbells by the shoulders, just raising up and back down. If you are in the seat, try to challenge yourself that you're not completely resting back on the chair, that you're away from the back, using that core to help hold you up. So we'll do our overhead press. For our first exercise, then we're going to go into our lateral raise, raising this arm at a time. So we're just going to do the right side on exercise. And then our third exercise, we're just doing the left arm, really trying to isolate there, and we'll do those both 2 times through. And then we'll finish with our bicep curl for our fourth exercise. So elbows tucked to the sides. Do both arms at the same time, or if you'd like, you can always alternate arms as well. So that's our first circuit. We'll do all 4 of those exercises one time through, and then repeat. Okay. Said it's still a little muffling. I will try to turn down the music a little bit. The music is through Zoom, Victoria. It is through the laptop, so it's not an external music source. Okay, hopefully this is a little bit better. Let's go on and jump into the first circuit here with the overhead press. We're gonna get started in about 10 seconds here. Make sure you've got that core engaged, whether you're sitting or standing. In 3, 2, and 1, 45 seconds here. If you want a little bit of an extra challenge on this one, you can always use the Arnold press, so taking that rotation and adding it in. Make sure you're breathing. Five seconds here. We're about 30 seconds in, so 15 seconds left. We're resting in 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go and let those dumbbells rest at your side. We're going to our lateral raise next. So you just need 1 dumbbell. We're going to do just right arm and then just the left arm. And we'll do both of them, like I said, 2 rounds through. And 3, 2, and 1. Slight bend in that elbow. Raising the arm till it's parallel with the floor. You should be really feeling it in the shoulder. You don't want to feel too much tension in the neck. If you are doing single arm, that should help a lot with that. Good. Keep it going here. We've got 15 seconds. Rest in 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. We're going to switch to the other side next. Again, check, reset that posture, especially if you're seated. To fall back into that slump. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Other side. Proof that even, sometimes when we do exercises standing, that's what we're used to doing. So then I couldn't do that in my cubicle because then I'd have to get up and create a bunch of space. No, you don't. You don't have to. You can have just some light weights by your desk. Do this for 5-10 minutes. Get, a spare break during the day, and doing a little bit of something is always better than nothing. Let's rest in 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're gonna finish out with our bicep curls. So both dumbbells, we'll tuck the elbows at the side. You can do both arms at the same time, or you can alternate arms, up to you. And 3, 2, and 1. And apologies if you hear the AC on the side, it seems to be extra loud today. Working against all the external factors so you guys can hear me. Keep it up, 15 seconds here. Make sure the shoulders engaged, so squeezing between those shoulder blades, not letting any upper back rounding happening here. In 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're gonna go right back to the top of that circuit. So back to our overhead press. We've got a couple seconds of rest here before we jump back into it. Second circuit of upper body in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Straight press or Arnold press, it's up to you. sometimes you might even find when you do some of these exercises that they feel a little bit more challenging to your upper body or to your core because you might be relying on your lower body to help stabilize you in ways that you maybe didn't realize that you were. Let's rest in 3, 2, and 1. I know I kind of feel that way already in today's workout because I have not done seated upper body in a good minute. And so it feels a little bit different, but it's good to switch things up. Let's start with the lateral raise, right arm in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Halfway there. We're resting in 3, 2, and 1. We'll switch to the other arm. Left arm is next. Same exact thing. Roll those shoulders out a little bit in between if you need to. We'll start in 3, 2, and 1. Make sure you're maintaining that slight bend in the elbow. Trying to make sure if you are seated too that you're keeping the upper body stable. It's kind of easy to want to rock from side to side when you don't have your feet, standing underneath you. So again, it takes a little bit more core control. You've got 15 seconds here. We're resting in 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We'll finish out with those bicep curls for our first circuit. Pick out those arms as you need to. We're going to be working them all day today. Let's start in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go with bicep curls. You guys are doing great. Almost finished with our first circuit of the day. Then we'll be moving on. Second circuit is a mix of both upper body and a little bit of core / working the hips. So it's not entirely upper body. Don't get too scared. We're almost there. Finish with our bicep curls in 3, 2, and 1. All right. You guys take a quick break. I'm going to show you the exercises that are in our second circuit of the day. So we're going to start with our overhead tricep extension. So we just need 1 dumbbell, same as we always do it standing, and what you normally do. Just 1 dumbbell up overhead, tuck those elbows by the tip of your forehead. Arms are straight. We'll dip the dumbbell back behind us. Squeeze and straighten forward, really trying to feel it in those triceps as we bring it forward. Hold it there for a second and then come back. So that is our first exercise. Then we're going to move into our external rotation of the shoulders. Now, if you have light weights, like I would say 5 pounds or less, unless you just have super strong shoulders and you do this exercise all the time, unless you have a super light weight, I would do this one body weight, or if you're just doing it for the first time in general, try it out body weight first, because you don't need a lot of weight. I'll just say that much. You'll put your arms up into a field goal position, 90-degree angle on those elbows. We'll rotate the arms down and back. I know sometimes we do this one in our warm-up. That's what we're gonna focus on today. If you're feeling good, if you wanna add light weights in, if you do that, you only wanna go down until you're parallel with the floor and then back up though. So no further down than parallel with the floor. And again, the heaviest I would go is 5. So just be cautious there. And then we're gonna move into our hip strengthener, our steps that we normally do when we're standing. We're just gonna do it in a chair. So I don't know if you can see my feet. I will adjust this down here. With the camera angles here. So setting a water bottle or your dumbbell in front of you, or it can just be an imaginary obstacle if you don't have one. If you are seated, I want you to try to sit at the edge of your chair. That's going to make this a little bit more challenging because you're going to have to use that core to keep you upright and not sinking back into your chair or using the back of your chair for support. So we're just going to raise the leg up and over. I even kind of cheated it myself when I did it the first time. I wanted to turn my leg in to get it over, but that's not what you want to do. You want to keep the leg straight up and down and over. So we're not turning the knee in or out. The knee should be straight up towards the ceiling. We're just bringing the foot up and then over. So you really have to use that hip flexor and also that core. And again, we're trying not to sink back into our chair as we do it. So it's a lot to think about. I sometimes think this one's even more challenging seated than it is standing. So if you are standing and have a chair, I would try it this way so you can find more difficult. But you can, again, still do it standing like we normally do, up and over like that. So we'll do right leg for the third exercise and we'll do the left leg for our fourth exercise. So let's go on and get set up. We're going to start with that overhead tricep extension. Yes, sorry, I'm trying to keep myself on track here. Grab that one dumbbell. We're going to get started in a little less than 10. In 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. We're dipping the dumbbell back, squeeze and straighten forward. Hold it there for a second, and then release. Halfway there. You're resting in 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. We'll go into our shoulder rotation next. So either light dumbbells or no dumbbells. Arms are going to be up in that 90-degree position. In 3, 2, and 1. Rotating down and back. If you have no weights, you can try to push a little bit further past parallel. If you do have the weights, again, I want you to stop here once you're parallel with the floor. Keep those elbows lifted so that they're in line with the shoulders. Nice work. We've got 15 seconds here. Almost there in 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're going to be doing our toe taps next. So either water bottle or dumbbell or imaginary obstacle. Or pull it out of your mind, put it on the floor. We're starting with just the right leg in 3, 2, and 1. Up and over. Again, trying to keep that core engaged, the body upright so we're not leaning back. Good. Try to keep that knee as in line as you can. So it's not tilting from side to side. Oh, keep the foot over. I also don't think I mentioned it at the start, but obstacles should be, your obstacle real or imaginary. No taller than a foot off the ground. Really ideal to probably somebody 6 to 10 inches, but a foot is fine. This is gonna be a little bit more challenging. Woo. We're almost there. Rest in 3, 2, and 1. All right. I cannot tell. It looks like my video is blurry on my end. I don't know if you guys are seeing that, or maybe it's me and my contact. Okay, we're good. All right, we're gonna switch to the other leg in 3, 2, and 1. Up and over, left leg. This is definitely the harder one for me. So if you see me struggling or leaning back, do as I say, not as I do. I'm doing my best over here, but the left leg is definitely the weaker side for me. Maybe need a shorter obstacle so I don't cheat. Nice work, keep it up, we're almost there. We rest in 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going right back to the top of that with our tricep extension overhead. Just the 1 dumbbell. If there's a breather, grab a quick sip of water. If you need to, shake out those legs a little bit. We'll start in 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. Second round. Almost there, less than 10. Rest in 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go on and take a quick rest. We're gonna finish out with our core exercises. So I am gonna do these 2 standing. They're the 2 standing ones I believe we did last week. I could be wrong. So I'm gonna set my chair to the side for just a second. We're gonna do the standing crunch and then the pull off press. So standing crunch, you've got your dumbbell up overhead. Let me adjust our camera angle just a little bit. Dumbbell up overhead. We're gonna crunch down and bring it towards alternating knee. So alternating knee meets the hands in the center. And again, really just focusing on engaging the core. It doesn't have to be a major spine crunch forward. Really, you should be able to engage your abdominal muscles without having to have such a drastic motion in the spine. That's what we're gonna do standing. But if you are in a chair or you want to make this a fully chair workout, dumbbell aside, you can still do a seated crunch just in your chair. So starting with the spine upright, kind of crunching down and in. Again, it doesn't have to be anything drastic, just enough that you're able to engage those abdominal muscles and then come back up to the seated position. You can just do that for that exercise if you'd like. And then we're gonna go into our second one, which is a standing exercise, the pull-off press. Standing on 1 leg, 1 dumbbell. We take it out and back in, focusing on our balance and our core stability there. So let's go on and get set up for that standing crunch. We're gonna start here in just a few seconds, 45 seconds of work in 3, 2, and 1. Alternating legs here. Driving that knee up to meet the dumbbell. I think music maybe stopped, or maybe I just can't hear it. I will check on it. I'm gonna march towards you as I check on it. Keep going, guys. Okay, no, music's still going. It's just a little quiet. Turn it up a hair. Okay, keep going, keep going. Almost there. We've got about 10 seconds. We rest in 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. We're gonna do the pull-off press next. So we'll stand on one leg, hold on to something for balance. If you need to, or put both feet down onto the floor. We're taking the dumbbell in and out in 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. We're almost to the finish line for today. I do think we're only going to be able to fit in one round of core, just so we can hit our 12:30 mark for those that have to head out. So this is your final exercise of the day. We've got 10 seconds. Rest in 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. You guys have made it. Thank you so much for hanging in there with me today and my modifications, especially if you were ready for a super tough workout today. But sometimes you get yourself pumped up and amped up and you're like, okay, I'm ready for it. I'm gonna really push myself. And then I come in and say, actually, we're gonna do a slightly easier workout today. But you all hung in there nonetheless. So that being said, we are at 12:30, so if you have to head out for the day, no worries. We are going to keep on with about 15 minutes of stretching using the chair. So no need to get on to the mat or use a foam roller or anything like that. And I will be teaching next week. I'm going to go on and drop some links into the chat really quickly. One of them being the fitness calendar. I know most of you guys have this link. If you are a TxDOT employee, we've had some issues with our website being the new transition, and the calendar is not showing up on our website right now. So if you're a TxDOT employee especially, I would make sure that you bookmark the link that I just dropped in the chat, because it's the more stable link is what I'll say. And then I also just dropped the YouTube playlist into the chat so you can see all of past week's classes. That being said, let's go on and get into today. I know we didn't do a ton of lower body, but we're still going to do a couple lower body stretches for today's workout. So we're going to start with our figure 4 stretch that we normally do laying down on the mat, but I would say so we're going to take right ankle, cross it over the left knee here, and then just slightly lean forward until you feel a stretch in that right glute. Might not be very far, might just have to barely lean, like you can do it, or you might be able to pull your chest all the way down towards your legs. If you can, and that feels good, then go for it. But we're just gonna hold this here. Are always so good to do throughout the day, even if you haven't done a big workout, just to get right, you know, from sitting and from inactivity. So, let's go on and switch to the other side. The left ankle crosses over the right knee, and you just go slightly forward to stretch the left glute. Really try to think about pressing that left knee down. Don't want to force it, but just giving him a little bit of pressure will help to deepen the stretch. Let's go on and come up. From that, we're going to move into just a seated hamstring stretch. You can also do this one just standing. But we're just going to take one leg straight out in front of us, flex that foot, put your hands on your waist or hands on your chair, and slightly lean forward here until you feel a stretch in the back of the leg. Same exact thing if you're standing, just this leg would be standing up straight. Holding it here. And let's go on and switch to the other side. So other leg goes out straight, flex that foot, push the hips back, lean the chest forward. Here. And up. We're going to do a little bit of a hip stretch. I've got two options for this one. You can either stand, or I'll show you how you can use your chair if you're feeling a little bit more confident. But we're going to, first modification for this is just going to be standing with a staggered stance. So right foot in front, left foot in back. And then we're going to slightly bend your front knee. Keep that back leg straight. And I want you to think about tucking your hips under and really pushing the hips forward, but again, while still maintaining the core engaged and the hips tucked under. So I don't want you to just do this and lean forward. Keep everything engaged and then push forward. Think about driving that back heel into the ground, and you should feel a little bit of a stretch in the front of the hip of the leg that's in the back. So this helps with those hip strengtheners that we just did, working to strengthen out our hip flexors. So that is your standing option. Keep doing the standing option as I show you your second option. Only if you feel really confident with it, especially if you have a rolling chair, make sure you also have something nearby to hold on to. Granted, I don't, and I'm about to show you. I feel confident I won't fall. So you can also put a leg behind you and do the same thing. I'm thinking about tapping those hips under, pushing the hips forward, and feel a stretch on the front of the leg. Only if you feel stable to do so. You can also just do this and feel the same thing. Let's go on and switch to the other side. So we're going to take other leg, switch it to the back. Other leg comes forward, slight bend in the front knee, leg in the back. That heel is down on the ground. We're tucking the hips under, pushing the hips forward, and hopefully feeling a little bit of a stretch in the front of the hip of the back leg. If you do take the chair option, again, same leg goes back, tuck those hips under, feel a stretch in the hips, and probably a little bit more of your quad if you're taking this option. So we'll hold this here. And you can go on and release. Last lower body-ish exercise, or not exercise, but stretch, I should say, that I'll show you before we move back into upper body is taking the back of your chair. It really doesn't even have to be a chair. If you have a desk or any like stable furniture that's about mid body height or hip height, it will work. If anything, it's probably more stable than your rolling chair. But we're gonna get our feet about hip distance apart, slide bending the knees, almost like we're getting ready to do a deadlift. But we're gonna take our arms, reach them out in front of us, and then really push those hips back so you're getting that stretch in your hamstrings. And then you should feel a little bit of a stretch in your upper back as well, almost like you were doing a child's pose or something like that. So we're just gonna hold it here. You can even sway your hips a little bit side to side. I find that kind of opens up my obliques and my low back a little bit, and that always feels good to me. find what feels good to you and we'll hold it together. We want to make sure we're still keeping the spine relatively flat, so I'm not curving the back like, you know, a cat or anything like that. Mostly flat here, just getting a little bit of lengthening in the spine and opening up some space. When you're ready, let's slowly come back up to our standing position, and we're gonna go back to the chair to finish out some of our stretching exercises for our upper body. So we're gonna go straight into our crossbody shoulder stretch, taking one arm across. Make sure that shoulder's relaxed so it's not up here by your ear. We did lots of upper body work today, so want to give plenty of time for some upper body stretches before we finish out. Hopefully this does remind you that a lot of the stuff you do every single week is stuff that you can modify to adjust your desk chair to if you don't have a lot of space. I know I always say it, like, you can do this in your chair, but I don't always show it since I don't have time to show all the modifications. And hopefully this is a good reminder of that. Let's take one arm across, other side. Relax that shoulder. Sometimes I need those reminders. I know yesterday I was thinking like, I've tweaked my back. I don't know, like maybe should I cancel class? You know, I don't know, is that just the better option? It's like, no, you know, you have to remind yourself, like, listen to your body and, you know, don't push past your limits, but also know that there are some things you can do. If there's, you know, you can't do this, but you can do that, then try the thing that you can do the modification. Don't just throw in the towel altogether when you don't have to. Let's go on and relax the arms. We'll go into our tricep stretch overhead. And I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did not cancel class. I still showed up, did what I could, got to see you guys. I'm sure I'll be glad of it tomorrow. Feeling back to myself, hopefully. I'll be good to go. Let's switch other arm for the triceps. Let's go on and relax that. We're going to do kind of a modification of what we normally do with the foam roller on the floor. So put your arm and think about leaning back. You can use the support of your chair if you need to, or you can sit on the edge like I was if you feel comfortable with that. But just leaning back slightly, allowing the chest to open up, the shoulders to open up here. Breaths. You might not be able to hold this position for a long time. That's okay. You can always hold it here for a few seconds, come back, and then go back into it. It is a little bit more challenging when you're on the floor and you have the floor supporting you. And back to your center. Roll those shoulders down and back of our neck stretches. Right here, down to the right shoulder. Pick out the left arm, extend it outside or hold it to the side of your head. Go to stretch on the left side. And from the other side, the left ear to the right shoulder, pressing the right shoulder down. Grab your chair with your right hand. stretch on that right side. Let's slowly come back to center, and let's take one big neck roll clockwise, and then one counterclockwise. So one direction and then back the other way, nice and slow. Once you find your head back in that neutral position, we'll finish out with stretching out the back of the neck. Reset those shoulders down and back, and then think about tucking that chin up and in. Feel the stretch in the back of your neck here. Press those shoulder blades down. So nice breath. Give yourself a big thank you. Take time for today's workout. Let's come back to our neutral position, and that takes us to 12:45. Thank you all so much for joining today. We go on and finish our recording, and I'll hang on for a couple more minutes to answer any questions.